creature is horrifying!
Flora Fatalis are in fact not a plant-based subspecies of World's Final Boss, but instead are brand new horror-themed skins for League of Legends to celebrate the start of Spooky Month! And I can say right off the bat, I love these. I had no doubts in the designer who brought us LOR Nidalee, but it's been so long since we've gotten a skin line that leans this hard into horror, taking heavy inspiration from fungal and zombie-like infections in series similar to The Last of Us, Resident Evil, and maybe even Arcane? Tell me I'm not crazy for seeing all those Victor greenhouses in the background, the synthetic tissue patterning on all the spell effects, the hive mind's goal to evolve the beings of its world, and the literal mini hex cores. Might just be a coincidence as not a single one of the champions in this skin line have anything even remotely to do with Arcane, but I do kind of like to think of this as a twisted horror Arcane alt universe where Victor's first experiments failed in a very different way. Needless to say, I think this skin line is fantastic for the most part, but before we can talk about those, first we have to go over the world skin?
Wait, what? That's not an old man!
Trials of Twilight Shinzao.
And the thing is, I don't care!
Maybe it's because I got my hopes up for a darkened themed skin fusing him and the newly revealed Zahen. Maybe it's because if you squint your eyes even a tiny bit, it becomes barely distinct from the new base Shinzao. Or maybe it's because Jin getting an entirely new skin barely 1 month after his update launched is just... dude, it's a comedy at this point. It's not fair. The best chroma is from what I assume is the unnecessarily expensive Worlds bundle. 5 out of 10. Flora Fatalis Nami. I mean Soraka. That's also not fair. The staff, the crown, the eyes, the hair. Tell me that's not just the spitting image of a Mirai.
You, sir, are a fish.
While not officially confirmed, I like to think of each of the Flora Fatalis skins as representing different stages of the transformation process, and to that end, Soraka would be on the lowest end, and by extension is kinda also the least interesting of the three for that. The plant matter looks more like clothes than something that's actually fused with her body, and besides her legs looking like something straight out of one of my own drawings, her anatomy is relatively human for the most part. I will give her credit that it's her first evil skin she's gotten in a decade, besides that abomination, and for a skin line that's supposed to be equal parts beautiful and creepy, it does the pretty part pretty well, but she's got pretty skins for years, so come on, Rat, you could have given her a monster skin. Tanzanite is the best chroma, 7 out of 10. Flora Fatalis Lysandra. You see, this is beautiful, but still horrifying at the same time. Her legs fused together in a single root, her dainty arms twisting around into vines, the giant flower atop the center of her head. It's just an awesome way to retain the shape of her classic helmet, cleverly signify the flora is the only thing on her mind, and maybe accidentally makes her look more like a watcher than her base design ever has.
Unfortunately correct.
Coupled with some excellent sound design, especially that ult.
Bloody gorgeous.
It almost makes me forget that this one was teased a full month in advance and Lysandra got robbed of a perfect legendary opportunity for the 4th time in a row. Ruby is the best chroma, 9 out of 10. Flora Fatalis Fiddlesticks. If I had a nickel for every time Fiddlesticks got a skin that turned him into a girl, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that people got so mad about this, right?
Give me your phone.
Well, I'm
Fiddlesticks.
my pronoun is
It's immature if you ask me. If anyone should be angry about this, it should be Zyra players for having to witness an entirely separate champion become a better Zyra than she ever was.
Thrice, actually.
Disfigured by the infection so far, she's barely human anymore besides the face, and that face is the stuff of nightmares.
Hello.
Long, innocent lashes and smooth skin contrasted by rows of needle-like teeth and a jaw so unhinged it looks like it's about to fall off. It's an incredible monster design, but not a perfect skin. The model doesn't really live up to the majesty of the splash art, both in its color palette and facial construction.
He's so silly.
The alt sound really lacks any kind of impact, which is something that's happened to a lot of Fiddle's recent skins, and strangely enough for me, how come Lysandra and Soraka both got voice filters, but Fiddlesticks didn't?
Oh wait, they did.
Ruby is the best chroma, 8.5 out of 10. Overall, Flora Fatalis gets an 8 out of 10. There's a few missteps here for sure, but as a concept, it's a breath of fresh air. Skins for champions who needed them. Halloween skins that didn't take the easy route of running Fright Night into the ground.
Please, don't do it again.
And overall, it's just a thematic that feels new. Like this is just the start and has so much more room to grow. Please laugh, I need a W.
Please laugh, I did my best.
But those are just my thoughts. What do you fellas think of Flora Fatalis? Perhaps there's some champions you'd like to see in this skin line down the road. Maybe you'd like to act as confirmation bias for my theory that this is all actually an Arcane alternate universe and we can go back to the way that things were before Warwick became a very different kind of mutant abomination. Until next time though, fellas, take care of yourselves and hopefully I'll sound better and see you in the next video.